People have misconceptions about litigation. A lot of times people think that the law is very black and white, and that if you have a dispute and you are wronged or you otherwise think that you can get a certain result, I find that judges try to do the right thing and they can do equity. I've literally seen good lawyers argue that 2 plus 2 is 5. So the most important thing going into litigation is, do you have a story to tell, and can you tell it in a way where the judge is going to feel your pain? If you can come out as the person who was the good person or was wronged, you're going to do a lot better even if the contract's on your side. I've been involved in complex litigation where you had two creeps and the judge spends all their time figuring out who was the bigger creep. At the end of the day, the contract's important, but what's really important is whether or not you can tell your story in a compelling way and whether or not you handled the situation and you handled the judge in a way that's professional. There are companies out there that literally write agreements ambiguously because they can argue either side in a dispute. And so I don't recommend that. I do recommend that you write a good contract. But the reason those companies will argue both sides is because they've seen that when they go in to tell their story, they want to be able to guide the facts to kind of fit their situation. People have misconceptions about litigation. They often believe that if they're right, they're going to get the right verdict, and it's not always that simple. Judges try to do the right thing, and so they'll read a contract, they're going to hear you out, they're going to hear the other side out, but at the end of the day, they're going to really focus on what the right thing to do is, and they have the ability to do equity. So if you can't tell your story in a compelling way and get the judge on your side, you're not going to win. I've literally seen people argue that 2 plus 2 is 5 and win because they had been wronged and the judge wanted to do equity and come to the right result. So it's important to have a good contract, but what's really important is to be able to tell your story in a fair way and that you've got a lawyer on your side that's not going to try to upstage the judge or make the other side look bad, but rather is going to genuinely kind of bring the truth to the surface.